Hi, this is my video on how to get started using Pages, an Apple product. What is Pages? It's a word processor. You'll see the writing on the screen, which you can read. You can pause and read it. Pages can be used to do so many different types of projects. Did you know Pages could actually be used to make a poster that's 2 feet by 3 feet? Now, where did Pages come from? Well, computers have been around for a long time, and Pages actually started in a program called Volkswriter, kind of like Volkswagen. And of course, most people are most familiar with Microsoft Word. Well, Pages works with Word. Pages can open Word documents and save documents as Word documents. Now, why is Pages a good program? Why do I think it's a good program? Well, Apple, being a fully integrated vertical system, enables Pages to be used across so many different apps. It's always up to date because system updates actually update Pages also. The thing really good about Pages is that it works with Word, which so many people are familiar with. So how do I get started with Pages? I had previously made a Saint schedule using Numbers app by Apple, but I think that the Saint schedule is much better done using Pages or a word processing document. How am I going to organize this? In 3 different sections. First, I'll show you how to create a Pages document. Then I'll show you basic navigation. And then finally, we'll start to make a Saint schedule. We start by creating a Pages document. And before you start making documents, it's a good idea to get organized. How are you going to do your file folders? Here I suggest making only about 7 main folders, just for simplicity. You can do it the way you want, of course, but I limit my main categories to about 7. To open a Pages document, you go to the dock in the lower part of the screen and you'll see a Pages icon. You click that, you select a template, which there's so many different templates. It's really worth exploring all the different templates. You don't even have to make some of these templates like a real estate flyer. It's already made for you. Right here, I actually have 2 files open, Pages123 pages and the presentation pages. So the Pages123 pages will actually, that document will be my guideline. Notice that the keywords are highlighted in yellow so that you can have some basic keywords to look at. And it also helps me to give this presentation. Now, I can actually take a document like Pages123 presentation. I can move it to a new screen. Go to the little green circle here, and you can move it to the right side of screen or left side of screen. Make sure you don't click on the little green button because that'll maximize the whole screen. Now, once we have the document started, we can change the name. We click up here at the top, and then it lets us edit the name. The navigation, this is really critical. I have found this through trial and error, but if you see these settings on the left, you can see it has a place where you can either click or not click document body. This is important because if you have document body selected, what it does is make a continuous flow of the document. So anything deleted will go back to the previous part of the document, and it's a continuous flow. It's not like you have an individual page. It's a continuous flow from the very start of the document to the end. So if you insert something, it moves everything in back of it down. Or you delete something, it moves everything below up. And if you'd like to have it so that you just have pages that aren't changed, then uncheck this document body selection. Now, keystrokes are very important because they'll save you so much time. For instance, to select one word, you put your cursor over the word and double click or double tap. If you want to select the whole sentence, you triple click over one of the words and it'll select the whole sentence. Now, if you want to select or insert a photo, if you want to insert a photo into your Pages document, then what you do is click on the media selection, and then you select the you select the media icon, then you select the photos drop down. Or first you select the media icon, then in the drop down list you select photos in orange. Then when you click on a photo you want to insert, it will insert it into the document. It's kind of tricky because you don't really see it inserting into the document. You have to look back into your document and you'll see it there. Now, after you've inserted a photo, if you click on the center of the photo, it'll show you that the photo is selected. There'll be all these little tiny squares all around the photo, like you see here in red. And you can drag these to make the picture larger. You can make the picture higher by dragging the middle one. Or you can click, when you have the photo selected, by clicking it in the center, then you can click and drag the photo to other locations. Now, this is probably one of the most used combination clicks or shortcut keys that you can ever use. You select an item or select many items, then you select Command C. It's the keys shown in red. And then you would take your cursor, select where you want to put it, and then click Command V where you want to put it. Really, one of the nicest things I've found recently is the copy style shortcut keys. So let's say I have a word with a special font. Now, a font is a style of lettering. Say there's a font called Arial, which is very popular. So let's say we double click on a word which has the Arial font, and then we select Option Command C, or the keys shown in red. Then we select the word where we want to apply the style, and then we click Option Command V, or these keys shown in red. Now, really important is you're going to want to be able to zoom in and out. In most Apple functions, like in the photo app or in preview, in different other functions, like when you're in Safari, the web browser, if you hit Command plus, then it's going to enlarge or zoom you in. But this isn't the way you do it in Pages. To zoom in, you go Shift Command and greater than arrow, or the keys shown right here. Now, to zoom back out and make the whole screen, all of the screen zoomed out and smaller, showing more things, then you go Shift Command less than, or these key combination here circled in red. What we do is select the beginning of what we've typed in, then we hold the Shift key and click on the end part of what we've inserted. Then we hit the delete key and it will delete what we've selected, everything we've selected. So we're going to insert a table. You'll have a table icon, which you'll click, and then it will give you options of what kind of table you want to put in. In this case, I chose a simple one. So when you click on this simple one, it'll insert a table into your document, and it will look like this photo here. And if you click on the inside of the table, the actual horizontal title or the fields in ABC will show up, and so also will the row numbers show up on the left side. At this point, just to mention, if you click on this little circular dot right here, it'll select the whole table if you want to delete the whole table. So the table we inserted is 4 columns wide and 5 rows high. Actually, that's right what we need for our Saints schedule. However, we might want to put more rows in. If we do, we select this little equal signs, click outside of the table, then the horizontal title across the top, the fields, and the rows will disappear. The first thing we're going to do is select the first cell in the table, which is called A1. A is the first column, 1 is the first row. So A1 is the cell that's in the first column in the first row. So we click in here, and then to actually start entering text, we have to double click again. Now let's review the Saints calendar we made in the Numbers app. Actually, it's my theory that the best way to get something accomplished is just start doing it and then keep revising it. In this case, we've done our first entire Saints schedule, and I'm not really satisfied with it. I think it would be better to use highlighting to show the game that the Saints won. It would be better to put each game in only one cell. And so now I'm going to click in cell A1 and double click to insert text. Notice how I've entered this text in here in the first cell A1. I typed in P1, hit enter, and it automatically went down. Then I entered August 14th, Saturday, enter, click the enter key and it went down, click the enter key again, and then it gave me a space, and then I continued typing. Now, I can put special characters into a table or into a Pages document anywhere. What I want to do is do these keys together, Control, Command, Spacebar. When I have a plus key, it means do these keys together. So if you look at the keys that are circled in red, you click on those together. Then what will come up is an emoji or character, all these kind of special character icons. I can select what I want, in this case a sad face, click enter, and it gives me a whole series of sad faces. So I typed sad in, it gave me a sad face, and I picked one of the sad faces to insert. I clicked where I wanted to insert it, or I can just drag it in. Dragging is really one of the best things about Apple products, is click on something and drag it to the other program. So now we're going to do a little text formatting. We'll center the game number and the date. We'll move the scores to the left so they line up. We'll center the emoji. What we want to do is set our trackpad to do certain things a certain way. I use a Microsoft mouse because I've been using it since in the 90s, and so I'm just used to it. But if you are using a Magic Mouse, an Apple Magic Mouse, or Apple Magic Trackpad, you want to make sure that the trackpad is set up the way you want it. In this case, I select Apple Icon, System Preferences. I went to Trackpad. Then I clicked Secondary Click. And this lets you click or tap with two fingers. If you tap with these two fingers, it's just like right-clicking on a Microsoft mouse. I selected the game number, which is pre-game 1, and the date, and I centered it. Now I want to take the 14 and move it to the left. So I double-click on the 14, then I click Cut. Then I Command V to insert it at this spot. So now my cell looks like this, and I like the way the scores are lined up for easy comparison. Finally, or next, we want to center the smiley face, so I double click on it. I select the center button. We have to have text selected. Then I click on the center button. So now the smiley face is centered. Now the last thing I want to do is make the Baltimore Ravens bold. So I'm going to double click on it and then select bold under the text menu. And so finally we have our finished product so far, the first cell. Of course, there's much more to go, but maybe this will give you a good first step.